sitting with Peter and I, and in this order, we have Elizabeth Wentworth, Jeff Peel, and Jennifer Pennypacker. Thank you very much for coming.
Sure, thanks for having us.
What a great event this is. Do you guys do this 4 times a year?
No, just once, really. This is the annual conference.
This is the big deal where we honor some really important people. Jordan Klein, Egon Stefan Jr., Senior is being honored. Junior is actually here to accept. So yeah, it's a big deal for us. It's a nice way to honor the people that really got into this industry early on and made it easier for everybody else.
You know, let me just say, Jeff is from Miami Dade, Elizabeth is from Broward Alliance, and Jennifer is from the Metro Orlando. It's so great to see the 3 of you working together on an organization to help bring films here, but are you guys like, well, you know...
Yeah. When does it get competitive, I guess, is...
Honestly, it doesn't. It's
right?
Every once in a while. The nice thing about Florida is we all have our own special qualities that make us specific for filming. And the reality of it is if a project goes to Miami, a lot of Orlando crew will work on that.
Chances are, right.
Yeah, so if it's good for the state, it's good for all of us.
Yeah, and we found out a long time ago that it's really important for us to work together to satisfy the needs of our clients, because at the end of the day, they'll come back, and you want to make them happy and solve their problems, whether that means it's Fort Lauderdale or Central Florida or in Miami or whatever. You want to make the client happy so that he feels good about Florida.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And we work in regions, because when a filmmaker comes into Orlando, they often film in Tampa, right?
Absolutely.
And I'm very lucky because I'm next to the Miami market, and I get a lot just strictly because of Jeff.
and
I have to remember that.
There's a lot of things, like, example, Central Florida can't offer our region. We're landlocked. We can't offer a beach. So we need to partner with our surrounding areas so that they can.
And it's a good thing Tampa is so close.
Absolutely. Right. Cocoa Beach as well.
Well, obviously then the question becomes, in how do cities sort of distinguish themselves? How does a city present itself to the film industry in a positive way? Any advice to some people who are out there who are trying to market their cities?
Well, clearly people have to be very cognizant of the importance of this business. And one of the things I think is most important is that there's no time in this industry. People need to make decisions immediately. People need answers immediately. And when you're talking about a whole community and government structures and those kinds of people, that
it's really
doesn't
hard.
always work that well.
Not the fastest.
I think that's the main thing that we try to get across. And I think most of the communities in Florida have embraced that idea.
And as film commissioners, we have to ask our cities to have a can-do attitude.
How do you, the new film center that just came down, we're talking about attracting people here. There's a new digital media television series and commercials. How does that help you all market our area?
Extremely. It's really come down to a game of incentives. It started several years ago globally when Canada and Australia introduced incentives. It's now become just nationally with competition from our surrounding states. So just by the pure nature of that first phone call, being able to say that we have something, it keeps them interested, and then we can start selling our locations after the fact.
Sure, nothing sells like sales itself. I mean, you got a success on your hands, and people see that, and they're going to say, well, maybe we could do it too. And I think that engenders more and more work.
Well, have you seen, since you've been a part of the film business here in Florida, that things have changed? It was 35 millimeter, 16 millimeter. Now it's 8. Then it went to digibetas, and then. So, have you noticed that change?
Somebody told me one time that they thought that the film business right now is going into an era that's similar to the garage band era of the 60s, where everybody could buy an electric guitar and get into their own band. The cost of entry into the film business has come down so incredibly. You can buy a camera for a couple of $1,000s, get yourself a computer and some software, and you're in the business with really high quality images. So, with YouTube and MySpace and all of these other things coming on, you're going to find a zillion people out there making movies. 90% of them are going to be crap. But even the 10%.
You didn't hear that here. No.
But even the 10% that are left are going to be really interesting little movies that would have never been made before, because those people couldn't have gotten into the business.
But it's important that they spent $30,000 in your community making it.
Yeah, because the next time when that movie's a success, they're going to come back and spend $3 million.
Well, probably first 100,000.
Well, okay, 300,000.
I think one of the real advantages that Florida has is we have some really great film schools, and we have a lot of these kids coming out, and there's a lot of people in the industry
don't
here.
they? Do these You think of Ringling and Full Sail?
It's a challenge. You want to keep those people here, and I think that that this new opportunity to really get into filmmaking at that level, where it's not, you don't have to go work for the studio system, and you don't have to be investing millions of dollars necessarily in films, and then it's part of our job to kind of provide opportunities for those kids. I think that Florida has a really bright future potentially with an indigenous film community, because we've got creative people, we've got the basic infrastructure is already here, we've got the film commissions that are there to support these people. So I think that if we can make that work.
And now incentives.
Yeah, government's gone
that's why
board,
that's why we've been losing people, is because we haven't been
they
able
could
to
have
be
gone to
as
Louisiana
competitive.
and got that film, which is.
But I don't think that would happen today, would it?
The three of you seem to get along great. Have you all been together in Film Florida for a long time? I mean,
quite a long time.
Since its inception.
Yeah.
We've all been around.
And even before that.
Yeah.
So, the film commissioners had an association before Film Florida started, which was about 10 years ago. So we've worked together for 15. I've been in this business for 15 years, and Elizabeth longer, maybe longer than that.
We don't talk about that.
The interesting thing you'll find in our markets is a lot of the film commissioners have been in place for a long time because we enjoy it.
Right.
It's exciting
and you'll find that's universal throughout the United States and probably now even in Europe. When film commissioners take a position, it's amazing. They never leave until they retire.
Because they have a passion for it, and you have to have that passion.
Yeah, it seems like a pretty
to
great
stay.
job.
And we have no other career path, really.
Well,
I didn't mention that.
career lock-in.
It's
But
not
there's
really a
worse
great
things.
job, but Krista, our film commissioner, is traveling all the time.
Yeah.
And she's working and she's smiling, and I'm sure as you all are too, but I just want to pinch her and make her mad. But she just doesn't get mad.
No, she doesn't, and she's really great. I mean, she's great to work with. We're really lucky to have her in the state, I think.
Well, we hope that
we're
you
lucky
guys...
to have her here.
Yeah, thank you.
She's taken a leadership role on the incentive development.
She has, and I think that's great too. We hope that you enjoy the Tampa area. Thank
Already
you for
have.
coming.
And come back.
Thank you for spending
Yeah.
money here. Heads and beds. There you go.
Loving it.